Suspected bandits have reportedly invaded the Yashikira community in Baritan local government area of Kwara State early this morning, setting the Emir's palace ablaze and abducting several residents, including women and children. Hi, welcome to What's Happening. These are our top 10 stories countdown today. At number 10, Iran warned Monday that while some progress had been made, it was not yet to closing a deal with the United States to end the Middle East war. After a weekend of mixed messages from Washington and Tehran, world oil prices tumbled on renewed optimism about an agreement after top US diplomat Marco Rubio suggested a deal could be reached within the day. But Iran's foreign ministry spokesman responded, "No one can make such a claim." Meanwhile, Pakistan's Prime Minister Shehbaz Sharif, whose government is spearheading efforts to mediate a negotiated agreement between the United States and Iran, met China's President Xi Jinping in Beijing. At number 9, 17 players have reported to the Super Eagles camp in London as Nigeria's preparations intensify for tomorrow's Unity Cup semi-final against Zimbabwe at the Valley. Goalkeeper Francis Uzoho, defender Chibuike Nwegbu, and forward Rafiu Durosimi were the latest arrivals, joining 14 players he had already checked in on Saturday. Eric Charles' side held another training session at Cray Valley FC, Middle Park Avenue, London, yesterday. Nigeria faced Zimbabwe at the Valley, London on Tuesday. At number 8, no fewer than 1,800 youths from Ogidi in Idemili North Local Government area on Monday blocked the Onitsha Awka Old Road in protest over worsening flood disaster ravaging the area. The youth, under the leadership of Chris Obi Okafo, president of Ogidi Youth, described the situation as unbearable. They carried placards with different inscriptions as they marched through the community, saying floodwaters had submerged buildings and destroyed properties worth millions of naira. At number 7, the national leader of the Nigeria Democratic Congress, Henry Shereke Dixon, will today inaugurate the party's 21-member selection committee as part of preparations for the 2027 general elections. The inauguration, scheduled for 4 p.m. at the NDC National Secretariat in Abuja, comes on the heels of the successful completion of the party's screening exercise for governorship, National Assembly, and State Houses of Assembly aspirants. In a statement issued by the party's National Publicity Secretary, OSA Director, the committee was constituted to further strengthen transparency, internal democracy, and credibility in the party's candidate selection process. At number 6, the federal government has warned Nigerians against leaving the country without valid travel documents. In a public alert posted on X on Monday, DCIAS Akinlabi, the public relations officer of the Nigeria Immigration Service, stressed that such actions are illegal, expose individuals to serious risk. It cautioned that all international travel must be carried out with a valid passport, visa, and other approved immigration documents. It's noted that any attempt to bypass official procedures or use unauthorized border routes constitutes a violation of Nigerian law. At number 5, a chief magistrate court sitting in Akure, Ondo State capital, has ordered the detention of a traditional ruler, Oba Adewale Boboye, the Ajaguande of the Ode community in the Akure local government area of the state, over allegations of land grabbing. The Ondo State government had ordered the arrest of the monarch and charged him to court over alleged illegal activities connected to a disputed piece of land. Oba Boboye was arraigned on allegations bordering on conspiracy to commit a felony, alleged threat issued to one Ajilegon via telephone conversation in respect of a piece of land belonging to a private company based in Igoba, Akure, forceful takeover of landed property belonging to the company, and the alleged use of thugs to dispose the rightful owners of the property. At number 4, the Lagos State government has apprehended 931 people for waste management offences, inspected 2,251 sites, issued 1,711 contravention notices, and sealed 239 facilities as part of the intensified environmental monitoring, enforcement, and compliance operations across the state in the last year. The State Commissioner for the Environment and Water Resources, Tokumbo Wahab, disclosed this at the 2026 ministerial press briefing held at Alausa Ikeja. According to Wahab, the monitoring, enforcement, and compliance operations of the ministry were strengthened within the review period to ensure stricter adherence to environmental laws and sanitation standards across Lagos. At number 3, The Nigeria Center for Disease Control and Prevention has warned that Nigeria faces a high risk of importing the Ebola virus disease due to ongoing outbreaks in the Democratic Republic of Congo and Uganda. Despite the absence of any confirmed case in the country, the agency said heightened regional transmission, increased international travel, and cross-border population movement have raised concerns over the possibility of the disease spreading into Nigeria. In a statement issued on Sunday, the Director General of the NCDC, Jide Idris, said the agency's latest risk assessment classified the threat level as high. At number 2, gas marketers have raised concerns about the scarcity of liquefied petroleum gas, otherwise known as cooking gas, and rising prices, which have risen to as high as 1,500 naira per kilogram from about 1,300 naira per kilogram, depending on the area. A press statement by the Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers on Sunday drew the attention of the federal government agencies, industry regulators, importers, LPG producers, depot owners, LPG consumers, and the general public to what they describe as the erratic supply and hiking price of cooking gas across the country. According to them, while prices have gone as high as 1,500 naira per kilogram, they are forced to pay as much as 25.2 million naira or 26.2 million naira for 20 MT of cooking gas, depending on location. At number 1, suspected bandits have reportedly invaded the Yashikira community in Bariton local government area of Kwara State early this morning, setting the Emir's palace ablaze and abducting several residents, including women and children. It was gathered that the attack occurred late at night when the heavily armed assailants stormed the community, firing sporadically. According to sources in the area, the gunmen attacked the palace during the invasion, setting part of the royal residence on fire before whisking away multiple victims. Residents said the attackers operated for hours without resistance, leaving behind destruction and fear in the border community. That's all for today. See you next time on What's Happening.